Hey, what's up everyone? Alex here. If you're like me and you've spent at least 100 hours playing through the original Shin Megami Tensei V, you might not want to play Shin Megami Tensei V Vengeance. I'm no stranger to Atlus' desire to re-release their updated games as full-price titles, especially after playing through Persona 3, 4, and 5 multiple times in the past. So when I sat down and played Shin Megami Tensei V Vengeance, I was actually surprised to find out that I didn't want to play through it at all, despite the presence of the Canon of Vengeance storyline. So how is it any different when compared to my other Persona playthroughs? Let's go deeper into this question. The Canon of Vengeance is a brand new 80-hour storyline that adds human party members into the mix. This was the game's biggest selling point for me, because the biggest complaint about the Canon of Creation, which is the original storyline, was that it didn't have enough story, and I'm told that this fixes this. The reality is that the first 40 hours doesn't deviate much from the original game. It's only at the halfway point that the story starts to deviate much more. That's not to say that the first 40 hours doesn't have anything new. Some cutscenes have been altered to not only include new characters, but also boss battles and different outcomes as well. The completion of certain side quests will also feature commentary from human party members that add a little bit more flavor. And as an added detail, your dialogue choices do matter more in the Canon of Vengeance, because it'll determine which ending you'll get. Now, if we zoom out a little bit, it's not as though Shin Megami Tensei V Vengeance doesn't offer anything new apart from that. Some of my select favorites include being able to save anywhere on the map, flying up to the sky to survey surrounding areas. Side quests now have recommended levels, along with new side quests with new kinds of mechanics. Flying enemies are now easier to hit, having 17 quest navigation demons as opposed to 6, a brand new area based on Shinjuku, being attacked consecutively to earn more money and experience, and a place to chat with your demons, and more importantly, Aogami, who you can separate from and chat with in the haunts, which can improve their stats. So going back to the question that I posed at the beginning of this video, how is this any different when compared to playing through Persona 3 Reload, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royal? And the conclusion that I came up with, that it's got to do with both the theming and the size of the places that you're exploring. Every Persona dungeon is designed to evoke a particular theme based on what's happening in the main story, which means that any additions to them, especially in the case of Persona 5 Royal, feels more meaningful. By contrast, because of Dot's predominant desert-like theme, coupled with its massive scale, it makes it difficult to appreciate the smaller additions because of each area's massive scale. And unlike Persona, you cannot leave these areas. You are subject to interacting with these environments all the time until you get to the next major story beat or side quest. And as a bit of clarification, I love Shin Megami Tensei V, despite it being more gameplay-centric. I explored every nook and cranny of Dot and did every single side quest, to the point that when I played Vengeance, I immediately noticed what they added. This sadly was also to its detriment, because Dot's massive scale overshadowed the numerous smaller additions to its map. But if there's one big thing that I want you to take away from this video, is that if you finished Shin Megami Tensei V and explored almost every inch of Dot and did every single side quest, the thought of doing it all over again, and then some, despite the new Canon of Vengeance, will feel overwhelming. However, if the changes that I and Atlus mentioned sound like big enough changes for you, then I have no doubt that you're gonna have a blast playing it. That said, if you haven't played Shin Megami Tensei V and somehow you don't want to play Vengeance because the original is going to be cheaper to pick up, I did talk about that game for 22 minutes in my review. Like I said, I love its gameplay-centric nature, so if this sounds like your jam, check out this video right here.